The best men's fragrances of all time. I have another top 10 list for you, gentlemen. This time round though, I did not put it together. I went onto Fragrantica because they released their Reader's Choice Awards for 2022 at the beginning of January, and we have 10 fragrances that are apparently the best ones of all time. So I thought we could go through each of them individually, and I'll also share with you my opinions, my thoughts on them. So let's dive straight in. Coming in at number 10, we have Ombre Leather from Tom Ford. Now, if you are looking for the most masculine, bold fragrance, or one of the most masculine and bold fragrances, I would say Ombre Leather by Tom Ford is a really good choice. If you want to smell like a manly man and you like leather, it is a great staple to have in a collection. As far as super strong leathery perfumes go, especially within the designer world, this one, I think in my opinion, is the best. And but you gotta like your leather. Like, to me, this smells like, you know, a bit car seat leather vibes, that kind of leather. But it's sexy, it's masculine, and the ladies love it. So yeah, I think this is a great fragrance. Moving in to number 9, we have Parfum de Marley Layton. I have a sample with me here. And this one, I think is a very great fragrance as well. I really enjoy it. I actually did a full in-depth review video on this. I think it's like around 5 minutes long or something. I will link it in the description box down below if you want a super in-depth review, but by now you probably already know this fragrance because it is hugely popular, especially on social media. This is great. This one is spicy. It has a bit of a fruity apple note that is so alluring. There's some freshness with lavender. So yeah, this is a manly, sweet, aromatic, sexy scent that can be worn, I would say, yeah, all year round. I would recommend it more over the winter time because it is a little sweeter and it's strong, and I feel like in the high heat, it wouldn't work too well. It would work great in the colder months, but not so much in the high heat. So that's why I would recommend it more for the autumn and winter season. But for date night, I think this is fantastic. And it's one that really bridges the gap between designer and niche. So if you're venturing into niche for the first time, this is a great fragrance to start your niche collection with. It kind of does everything. Number 8, we have Spicebomb Extreme. I don't understand why this fragrance isn't higher up in the rankings. This perfume is incredible. In fact, whenever I get asked, what fragrances would you recommend for a guy, I always go to my default 2. This one and another one that's going to come up later in the list. I always recommend these two. I mean, call me basic, but these perfumes, and this one in particular, is amazing. This smells fantastic. I love it so much that I wear it myself. It's so good. Spicy tobacco, booziness, spices. Oh, this is so good. This is so sexy. This is the ultimate autumn winter date night scent. This is a date night banger. I can't get enough of this fragrance, so much so that I wear it, as I said earlier. This is so good. I'm gonna spritz a little bit on me right now. Oh my God, this is so good. The only issue with this one though is it's not as long lasting as it used to be, which is a little bit frustrating. With all these reformulations going on, it's hard to keep track. But, you know, overspray with this and you'll be good to go. This is fantastic. Ladies love it. Really, I don't think there's anything wrong with this fragrance. Number 7, we have Creed Aventus. Now, to me, this perfume is the Dior Sauvage of niche fragrances. Now, what do I mean by this? They don't smell the same. Before anyone gets excited, they smell very different. But as Dior Sauvage is hugely popular in the designer world, so is Creed Aventus in the niche world. It is so popular that everyone seems to be wearing or owning some sort of version of this fragrance, whether it is the legit Creed Aventus or if it is a clone of it. I mean, it is so popular. I don't like the fragrance anymore at this stage. I feel like I've smelt it way too much. Call me a fragrance snob if you will, but I've just seen it a lot. You know, I feel like we need a break from Creed Aventus, move on to other things, and maybe go back to Creed Aventus after that. Do I recommend getting it still in 2023? My answer is no. I don't recommend getting the one from Creed. I would recommend getting one of the clones. And I never, or very, very rarely, like maybe 1% of the time, recommend clones because I like to support the original creations of fragrances, but in this instance, the clone is more consistent and is better than the original Creed. There have been so many variations in the batches of Aventus and you're spending so much money on the fragrance that you don't really know what you'll be getting. And some of the batches, well, they don't smell the same, and also they don't last as long. And when you have a clone that smells amazing and that is also super long lasting, I mean, it's really a no-brainer. So I wouldn't recommend this fragrance this time round. And I just think that there are so many other great, fresh, classy, and kind of does it all type of perfumes within the niche world that are so much better. One of which I would recommend is always Gentle Fluidity Silver by Maison Francis Kurkdjian. That one I would recommend getting over Creed Aventus. Number 6, we have Yves Saint Laurent La Nuit de L'Homme. This one is the GOAT. This is the fragrance that I said earlier with Spicebomb Extreme. This is the one that I would recommend. If a guy is asking me, what perfume should I get? I don't know, I'm just, I want to get a good fragrance for myself. And he doesn't have a full-blown 30-bottle perfume collection. This is the perfume that I always default to recommending. It is just really good. Look, I mean, amongst perfume collectors, you might not necessarily think this is the most amazing thing, but I don't care. I think this is fantastic. It is sexy, it is versatile. This is one, and when I mean versatile, you can wear it every day, at the office, on a date. You can go and meet your parents-in-law. You can go and, I don't know, have a special work event or whatever and wear this. You can wear it in all 4 seasons, literally any occasion that you can think about, you can wear this fragrance. It is so good, and you'll get a lot of your money's worth because you can wear it in so many different occasions. And it has a really likable DNA. I think this is so sexy. It is more of a chilled, laid-back fragrance. It's not loud. So this is one that if you do want to smell it, you need to overspray. Or you combine it with ISO E Super or Ambroxan to tether the fragrance on your skin. If you have Ambroxan or Molecule O2 in your collection, I would recommend doing an Ambroxan sandwich, which I've done in the past. You spray Ambroxan first, then you spray La Nuit de L'Homme, and then you spray Ambroxan again on top, and that will really help with the longevity or prolonging the longevity of La Nuit de L'Homme. So I would still recommend getting this fragrance. It's fantastic. Highly, highly recommended. Number 5, we have Johan Parfum. Now I think, if I'm not mistaken, this has been discontinued because when I went onto the Dior website, I couldn't find it. I think you can find it maybe in certain geographical locations, maybe in France, but I certainly can find it in the UK. Maybe in the US you can find it still. I remember this one being an exceptional perfume and probably one of the best, if not the best, from the Dior Homme line. Stunning, beautiful iris fragrance. Yeah, that's all I can say about it. It's a shame that it's been discontinued. If you can still find it, please comment down below. I would love to get my hands on it if I can in the UK because it is a masterpiece. Number 4, we have Acqua Di Gio Profumo, and I have this perfume. I gifted it to my husband. This is a great freshie, definitely. In my opinion, out of the Acqua Di Gio range, this one is the best. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it has an added layer of complexity that the others don't, which makes this more interesting. I don't know if it's the incense or the woods, but there's something beneath all of this freshness that just, I don't know, I find really intriguing. It's super classy as well. Like all the later flankers, Profundo and like all these other ones, I just don't like them. I find them to be packed with aroma chemicals that are a little bit astringent, kind of like along the lines of Dior Sauvage, like that Ambroxan bomb that kind of burns my nostrils at least. I find that that's the case with the latest flankers from Acqua Di Gio, not the original Parfum. And also the original, I find the DNA to be great, but it's a little bit classic, and this Profumo I find to be timeless. To me, this smells like a gentleman, sophisticated, elegant guy on holiday having a glass of wine by the seaside. Yeah. This is what this perfume is. It has that gentleman classiness, but it's also extremely wearable and great for summer. Coming in at number 3, we have Terre d'Hermes, the Eau de Toilette. In my opinion, this is one of the best, if not the best, vetiver designer fragrance. There are other ingredients in there, but to me, I smell vetiver the most, and this is class in a bottle. This is, to me, old money class. This is such a stunning perfume, and Hermes fragrances, I've always said this on this channel, have the gift, and just Hermes in general, they have the gift of being elegant and chic, all whilst being very wearable when it comes to their clothes, but also their fragrances. And certainly this is fabulous. I would recommend wearing this to the office, for example, or if you have like a family reunion over the weekends or holidays. That is the kind of fragrance I would recommend. Even formal events, it's great for that because vetiver adds so much class and sophistication to a perfume. I genuinely recommend vetiver fragrances or fragrances that have a big note of vetiver for formal events. There's also some citruses, the contrasting grapefruit that brings some sparkle, some effervescence to the scent. Some people might say it's a little bit too citrusy or orangey. I personally think the balance is just right. There's also some spices and also the addition of cedar in the base. Really, really nice perfume. I recommend this still today. I don't think this perfume will ever go out of style. This is a masterpiece from Hermes. Number 2, we have Bleu de Chanel, the Eau de Parfum. Now, this is a staple, another staple to have in a men's collection. It is your Swiss Army knife perfume. Compared to La Nuit de L'Homme, I would say that Bleu de Chanel is more put together, more elegant, and a little bit more formal. This is YSL La Nuit de L'Homme is just a little bit more chilled and relaxed, whereas Bleu de Chanel, you know, is more polished. That's how I would describe it. And I would definitely recommend it over Dior Sauvage. I just think that, well, first of all, Bleu de Chanel came before Dior Sauvage, and I just find it to smell better personally. I don't know, I prefer it. It all comes down to personal preference, but it is a good perfume to buy if you are, for example, a first-time buyer into fragrances at Chanel. This is a really easy one to go for. It makes a great gift as well for Christmas, for Father's Day, whatever occasion gifting you have. This is a solid staple, and the majority of the people will like it because it's quite mass appealing as well. Funny enough, I gifted this perfume to my husband many, many years ago when it first came out, and he still has it to this day, but I think the perfume at this point has gone off. But my point is, it's just a really good all year round perfume for guys that is elegant and that does everything. And coming in at number 1, we have Dior Intense, the 2011 version. I don't know if it's still available to get the 2011 version. It may have been reformulated, I don't know. There's so many reformulations happening these days that it's really difficult to keep track of all of these. But I will put all the links to the fragrances in the description box down below if you'd like to get any of these fragrances or if you just want more information on them. So, Dior Intense, the staple iris fragrance to have in your collection that has a sweeter edge. I'd like to recommend this one to guys for the winter time. I think this works really well in winter because it is sweeter. You have the addition of ambrette, which is going to give a pear, like a juicy pear-like note, that sweetness that's in there. You have the gorgeous note of iris that I think attracts more people versus the original Dior Homme, which by the way is also really hard to get. The original Dior Homme really focuses on the powdery side of iris, and some people have said that it's more of like a lipsticky effect and they don't like that. Whereas with Dior Homme Intense, you don't have that lipsticky feel. It is just a rich, buttery, earthy iris that is so beautiful, so masculine. And yeah, I mean, the whole Dior Homme line, in my opinion, is the best one from Dior to get for a guy. It is so sexy and also one that I feel is timeless. It's another timeless perfume, kind of like Terre d'Hermes. Dior Homme is timeless and you really can't go wrong with this fragrance. So that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments down below which of these fragrances you like the most, or if you have them in your collection. I would love to know. Let's have a discussion in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!